2002, Canada's largest landfill, Conejo Valley, located near Toronto, closed their gates and stopped storing solid waste for Ontarians. The landfill stretched across for 240 acres and was deep as 25 feet. Many Canadians were happy for this occasion for the fact that now the government had to go for more environmentally friendly options, since their main location for waste disposal shut down. But still, 1.1 million tons of garbage is shipped to America's landfills by Toronto alone to replace the lost landfill. How can Canadians be happy when they still produce a large amount of garbage? As we look for more environmentally friendly options, we still make a considerable amount of waste. So this poses the question, how is the world managing its waste? In the documentary, we will look at the environmental, social, and political issues to this growing crisis. A good amount of our waste goes to landfills. Landfills are giant holes that is used around the world to store solid waste. From the data, 59% of all garbage is placed in landfills, 33% to dumps, and 2% to recycling and compost. When there's a large amount of waste being placed together, it has drastic consequences to the environment. The Environmental Protection Agency has stated that landfills will eventually leak and enter rivers, lakes, or groundwater. Not only will the waste enter the water supply, but there's also the issue that many untested and harmful chemicals are in landfills. The decomposition of waste is also harmful since the decomposition of waste gives odors and releases methane gas into the air, contributing to the greenhouse effect. Since methane gas is one of the most potent gases when it comes to greenhouse effect. Not only that, but plastic damages the ecosystem severely. 40% of waste is plastic. Plastic never biodegrades. Instead, plastic goes through a process called photodegradation, which is sunlight breaking it down into smaller and smaller pieces until only plastic dust remains. Plastic does not disappear. Even as it does, it persists for centuries, wreaking havoc in the ecosystem. Incinerating waste is also causing problems, because plastic tends to produce toxic substances, such as dioxins, when they are burnt. Gases from incineration may cause air pollution and contribute to acid rain, while the ash from incineration may cause heavy metal and other toxins to be released into the air. It is said, on average, that the human population uses 2.6 pounds of garbage every day, and it is said that humans throw away their weight in waste every month. As the population grows, so does the amount of waste that is being produced. And as developing countries continue to grow, they increase the amount of waste that they produce since the developing countries start consuming more products. It is said by the year 2025, the amount of waste on Earth will double. It is currently. Due to the fact of urbanization, more waste arrives in landfills and in rivers, causing flooding in towns and villages. The problem also arises that the fact that landfills take too much space where it can be used for expansion for cities. Many areas work around landfills, but the effects of being near one is undesirable. A large amount of noise pollution and odors can be smelled from the nearby areas. Ultimately, learn the value of housing in the area. Studies have shown that living in an area that is near a landfill or an incinerator causes birth defects and causes permanent damage to the residents of the area. Many waste management facilities around the world are large businesses. Large corporations like Goodsellers Waste Industries and Waste Management dominate all aspects of the market and benefit from operating landfills and incinerators, along with recycling facilities. Since our population growth is increasing by 1.16% per year, and with more people there is more waste, that means these large corporations continue to work effectively, so effectively that they work hand in hand with governments. Since governments are so pressured to find places to dispose waste that they devote very few resources to developing functional programs for recycling. Fortunately, many governments tried to make new regulations to promote less use of waste, and some are applying the Zero Waste program, which basically promotes the use of recycling as a main source to reduce the amount of waste by making more recycling facilities and making companies control the amount of waste they use. Since the Zero Waste program doesn't rely on the use of landfills or incinerators, many waste disposal companies must outweigh the use of zero waste programs by making the profits outweigh the company's need to reduce and protect health and environment from potential destructive waste management practices.